Hey, Warrior Saints. Hi. Welcome. Happy to have you with us. We're very excited to have you on today's Crucifixional Life stream. And I woke up today to something beautiful. It was really a beautiful thing. I had a bunch of messages via text, through WhatsApp, on Facebook, all over the place, saying Happy Names Day, Greg, because today is the feast day of St. Gregory the Theologian, and it happens every year. Everyone wishes me a Happy Names Day on the feast of St. Gregory the Theologian. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and I'm always so grateful that people think of me and want to reach out on that day. It gets interesting because my patron saint is actually St. Gregory of Nyssa, who was on January 10th, and nobody said Happy Names Day on January 10th, but that's okay. Oh, thank you so much, Father.
Happy Names Day.
But I was reminded as I was seeing all these messages of an experience I had in seminary. Now, I was not always the best seminarian. I wasn't always the best at waking up in the morning. I wasn't always the best at making it to matins in the morning because it was early, and I was like, I just want to sleep. It's just so exhausting all the time. But there was one particular day where I went to matins in the morning. And every day, as part of matins, we would hear about the saint of the day and hear about their life. And that particular day, there was a particular saint named Hermogen that was celebrated. And so, as we had this guy in the seminary that I was at school with, he was a year above me. His name was not Hermogen, but in his chrismation, he took the name Hermogen. We didn't always get along because sometimes seminary, there's friction with people because you're living on top of each other. And I wanted to try to throw an olive branch out and just try to be a little bit nice. And I said to him, Happy Names Day, because I was all excited. It's the Feast of St. Hermogen. He's Hermogen. Put two and two together, got four, and went and I said, Happy Names Day. And his response to me was, oh, I'm the other Hermogen. I'm like, there's two? But, not thank you, it was just correction for the sake of correction. And it came across pretty rude, a little bit arrogant. And so when I get all these Names Day wishes, I always have that in the back of my mind because it's something that I try to avoid as much as I can because there's always that desire within you. I'm sure we all have it. I definitely have it all the time. If you hear someone say something that you know is not exactly perfectly correct, you want to adjust it. You want to correct it. You want to tell them, look at me. I know better, you stupid minion. Or at least, even if that's not your intention, that's how it comes across. So I try to avoid that as much as I can. And I think that there's evidence for why we want to avoid this in St. Paul in Romans chapter 12, verse 3. He tells us, by the grace given to me, I bid every one of you not to think of himself more highly than he ought to, but to think with sober judgment. Don't think of yourself more highly than you ought to. The reality is, unless there is something that is really horribly, horrifically wrong with what someone is telling you. For example, if someone tells me I'm going to fly to Boston, I'm looking up my airline for the airport code AUS, which is Austin, but they really want to go to Boston. And you know that that's just wrong. And they're going to be in Texas, not in Massachusetts. You might want to correct. But if it's something like Happy Names Day, it's not my name's day. But that means people are thinking of me. That means people are praying for me. That means people are caring about me. I'm just going to say thank you. That's a beautiful thing that they're telling me Happy Names Day. That's an exciting thing. Does it matter that it's 15 days later than my actual Names Day? I don't think it does. I claim all the Gregories. I even claim Gregory of Armenia, September 30th. I'll take anything that I can get when it comes to prayers. That's his feast day. I'll take anything I can get when it comes to those prayers. I need all the help I can get. I am not so look at me, that I need to correct every little thing that happens, right? Because I am trying to shift my mind. And it's interesting that this quote from St. Paul that we hear in Romans 12:3 comes right after Something that we've been talking about a whole lot in 2023, Romans 12:2, where it says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind." I'm trying to renew my mind. The world is telling me, always look like you have all the answers, always look like you're right. But I'm trying to renew my mind. I'm trying to shift my focus so that it's not only on me, so that it's not on look at how great I am, so that I don't think of myself more highly than I ought to, and I understand who I actually am. And who I am is I am striving to be a warrior saint. I am striving to be someone who is fighting every day to do and follow God's commandments. And I want to invite you to come along with me on that journey. I want to invite you to come along with me to transforming our minds so that we're shifting our thought process away from this look at me, look at me, look at me, and into what can I do for you? What can I do for you? How can I help you? Thank you. Shifting our mind from look at what I am able to accomplish and look at all that I know, into actually being someone that can be relied on, someone that can be looked at as an actually exceptional human being, not because of how great we are, but because of how focused we are on following the will of God. So join us. Visit warriorsaints.org. Subscribe to the Way of the Warrior Saint. And until we see you tomorrow, make sure when you subscribe, I'm not going to finish yet. Make sure when you subscribe, you get into it, because there's actually a video coming out very soon that you are going to want to see that deals with this very topic, that talks about this precise thing, how we can get rid of that you do you mentality, how we can get rid of this haughtiness. You need it. We all need it, because that's what it takes to renew our minds. Visit warriorsaints.org. Get on the Way of the Warrior Saint. And now, until we see you tomorrow, you keep walking on the Way of the Warrior Saint.